Welcome to Inner Peace Meta Health, the podcast where we go beyond the surface and explore what it truly takes to lead, thrive, and transform without burnout or compromise. Today, I'm joined by Sharon Van Sprang, an author, speaker, and certified coach who specializes in helping high achieving women and CEOs break through mental ceilings and step into their full leadership potential. With a background in positive psychology, neuroscience, and leadership coaching, Sharon has interviewed 35 female CEOs in tech and finance, uncovering what truly drives success. And here's what the kicker: mindset alone isn't enough. While the world tells women to push through, think harder, and train their minds, Sharon has discovered that the key to sustainable success is going beyond mindset, tapping into intuition, resilience, and inner wisdom. So, today we are diving into why overthinking and self doubt hold even the most brilliant leaders back, how to lead from intuition and inner wisdom instead of fear, and the new rules of leadership, and why women need to stop playing the old ones. Now, if you're ready to break through invisible barriers and lead onto your own terms, this conversation is for you. So, let's get started. Sharon, you have worked with high achieving women and CEOs, and your research shows that just working on mindset doesn't, create real change. So, why is that?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. Um, when we just focus on mindset, um, uh, there's no actual change because this is the thing. Our mind is there to keep us safe and not to make us happy. So as soon as there's a stress situation, what happens? Your mind goes a little bit crazy. It is better just to really focus on your intuition, your heart, and your gut. Your heart intelligence and your gut intelligence can share so much. And I believe that it's better just to understand your stress patterns to really break through.
hmm So, what really happens when we rely too much on logic and overthinking instead of, our deeper intuition?
When we focus too much on logic instead of our intuition, well, you know what? This is the thing. What happens when you're stressed? Let me just ask you a question. Like, what happens when you're stressed? What is your natural pattern? That's a question to you, by the way.
Oh,
I want to interact a little bit, just to so your listeners can understand um, why it is so essential not just to focus on logical thinking. So, what happens when you're stressed? There are like
man.
yes, sorry.
Okay,
So,
okay, yeah, please continue.
well, for example, my stress pattern is I freeze. I completely freeze. Um, uh, as soon as I have too much to do, like I'm an entrepreneur, so sometimes you work a lot, you work hard to uh, let me just rephrase this. Um, Let me just tell you my story. I think that is a much better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we all know like COVID, right? The COVID situation. We all went in lockdown. So at that moment, I was freelancing. Before COVID hit, I had amazing projects, and I got really excited to work and focus on my projects. But then, because I live in the Netherlands, by the way, so then lockdown, yeah, like we had a lockdown, and um, day by day, every time my phone rang and they shared, like, you know what, Sharon, I'm so sorry, but we will cancel your project. So this was a very hard time for me. So as soon as the borders opened again, we can do business again. We could be out and about again. I could not change my mindset. I could not change my mindset. I could not change. I could not go for. uh, um, uh, how can I say it?
Mhm.
Sorry, sorry. Um, f- can I just ask you a question, by the way?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Because I really thought that it was first of all, just to get to know each other first, and to understand what this show is all about. But now I'm. Is this a live session now? Are we live?
This gonna get edited later,
Okay,
and then it's
okay.
gonna get uploaded. All right.
Well, for so I thought this was because like now I'm jumping into it. I don't know you. Um, I thought that this first of all we were just going to get to know each other and just to see like okay what are we gonna talk about. So
Okay,
as
all right, sure. So, you can
so
ask
I
anything.
got prepared and I'm like whoa. So
Okay,
can you?
so
Yes.
yeah, I sure I'll tell you. I'm your host Saima, and I'm from India.
Yeah. Okay.
And today we are talking about beyond mindset, unlocking intuition, resilience, and true leadership.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 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 Okay, and then like we talk for half an hour, you ask me questions, I answer them, and yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna ask you some conversational questions, and yeah,
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm sorry because I was a little bit overwhelmed. Right.
That's completely okay. That's completely okay. You can ask me anything you want to.
Yeah, so I am really curious about like you why you started this podcast.
I started this podcast. It's because I like interacting with people.
Mm,
Actually, that's the reason. I like having conversation, having interaction with people. Knowing their thoughts and beliefs
yeah,
about the
that's
experiences.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. And what is your background?
I am pursuing MA, and other than that, I'm also writing on my book. But I don't know when gonna that's complete. When gonna that come to an end.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, good. Okay. So you're gonna ask me a few questions. Uh, which questions are you going to ask me?
The topic, I think the topic it's about like unlocking intuition. That's the topic. All the questions will
Okay.
be related to that.
Okay, unlocking intuition. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, so anything else?
No, no, no. Now I feel better about.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So can you maybe maybe it's better just to start over.
So,
Hmm.
if an accomplished leaders struggle with self-doubt and imposter syndrome, so how can women, start breaking through those invisible barriers?
That is a really difficult question. Like I've interviewed around 35 women that are in CEO positions at this moment.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's a general thing that we like 70% of women, around 72% of women struggle with imposter syndrome. So the feeling of, like being at the wrong place. Should I be here? And I think it's all because we can be quite hard for ourselves, like we should show ourselves the compassion that we would show to others. So when we talk about when if I can answer your question, I would be like, you know what, just show yourself some more love, compassion. It is okay to not like yeah, it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. So that is how I would rephrase it. So do not be so hard on yourself. Show yourself compassion. And yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Really a powerful.
That is a very powerful shift indeed. So I've interviewed 35 women, and they are now all in CEO positions, by the way. So they had their whole journey of challenges and learning. I think it's also, getting into that process yourself, because, this is, I feel like life is just one big, like, school. You get challenges after challenges and after challenges, and it's it brings so much growth and insight. Uh, but you need to be ready for it. You need to be ready for it, um, to how can I say it? To you need to be no. Wait. I am so confused now. I'm talking and talking
Absolutely.
and talking. So let's just end with that piece. That was powerful enough. Let's just go
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. That's a powerful shift that realizing that doubt isn't a stop sign, it's just a signal to go deeper. Let's end with it, all right? Now,
Could- Okay, yeah.
you talk about leadership from intuition, not just intellect. So, can you share that, how can someone start tapping to the intuition when making big decisions?
Ugh, I love this question. I
Mhm.
truly love this question. Because most of the time when we have to make big decisions, like, of course, we go to our intelligence, our head. But big decisions comes most of the time with like excitement and maybe a little bit of stress. Um, I am a multiple brain integration technique coach, where we just focus on also on the heart and the gut, and how you can actually do it. And this is also an exercise that I do with my coachees. It's just to close your eyes for a second, breathe in and breathe out, and really connect with the heart. So for example, when I sit with my coaches, I ask them, you know what? Just connect with your heart. Just feel love. There's obviously somebody that's very close to you. So just think about that person and connect with your heart through your heart with a lot of love.
Mhm.
And putting your hand on your head and asking yourself the question, like, okay, this is the situation. What should I do? Close your eyes and ask that question to your heart. Um, you will probably hear words, colors, um, um, words or colors, and I ask my clients just to say that out loud. There is so much knowledge in our hearts. There's so much knowledge in our hearts and in our guts. Um, so with this technique, we get we get much deeper. Um, I really work with female CEOs that, they experienced some challenges, a lot of challenges. Um, and, we all have our own life stories, our own truth. And because of our, past, we create patterns. And these patterns come out when we are stressed. And they just don't make you think clearly. So it's good to go back into the intuition to really understand and feel what is happening. So, what I do in my technique, for example, connect to the heart. I also include the brain. But what you see is that um, challenges will unfold, because I have a lot of customers that come to me and they're like, oh, you know what, Sharon, I do not know why I react very angry when people just don't deliver, or why I'm this hurt, or why I feel so sad. Because our brain cannot make sense out of it. We have to really listen to our intuition. And this is how I get through my sessions, really asking this question. Just ask that question to your heart. How crazy it sounds. I know how crazy it sounds, but that is most of the time the solution. Of course, there's a technique around it because, yeah, like I don't immediately go to the heart, but yeah, just ask, feel, understand. Take a moment, breathe, because that's something that we don't do too often.
Absolutely, that completely makes sense. So, have you seen a leader, completely transform their decision making once they started trusting their inner wisdom?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? A week ago, I had a conversation with one of the leaders because, I just like to know where my coaches are. Even if we part ways um, after after a few sessions. So I called her a week ago, and her transformation, oh, it was amazing. And she also said, "You know what, Sharon? I trust my intuition more." Um, her like her focus, so the thing that we really focused on, she's a fighter. And she always had the feeling that she needed to fight. This didn't work out the best at work, as a leader. It doesn't really work to uh, to be hostile, and that was the case with her. But because now she is so connected with her intuition, she takes a moment. By the way, if she you because changes like a transformation take time, of course. You have to repeat, repeat, repeat. So she does the exercises for herself, and the clarity that she has now, I'm really proud of her. I am so proud of her. Um, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So it's nice to see a transformation, and nice to see leaders just really focus on their intuition and not only on their logic.
I love the Sharon that intuition isn't just a gut feeling, it's a powerful tool for making aligned decisions, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm. Now, many women feel they have to play by outdated leadership rules to succeed. So, can you share the new rules of leadership that allow women to lead without burnout or compromise?
Wow. Yeah, I was so today I was working on an infographic, really focused on the Netherlands and uh, burnouts. The burnout rates are through the roof, and if we don't make changes, it's gonna cost companies so much money. Um, of course, it's not an easy solution, just to like, I don't have the solution to get out of the like. I don't have the. How can I say it? Uh, Burnout uh, how can yeah. Burnout is a big problem. And we have all these tools like, and I'm happy that we have those tools, where sorry, those platforms,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where you have like meditation, breath work, etc. This already helps a lot, but it's not the full transformation. Look, when you're burned out, it is actually already too late to use. Well, not already too late to use these tools, but there's so much more necessary for you to get out of the burnout. Uh, there was a time that I myself as well experienced a burnout. And with a burnout, you know what? Like for me, as my stress pattern is I freeze. I go on my automated mated pattern. I just do whatever. I live, I eat. It's actually like sleeping awake. That's what I do when I am like when I used to be in high stress. So it is essential for also the person that is in burnout just to have this epiphany like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to myself? You really, that's the first, that is actually the first thing, realizing what is happening, realizing what is happening. You know, for me, when I grew up, like connecting with your emotions, oh, I didn't even know how I could explain my emotions actually, because this is not the way I was grown up, brought up. My dad was always like, "Oh, just work harder, uh, push through," and this is something that I've always taught myself. So now
So,
I'm in. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, please continue, please.
Yeah, so now I'm in this like burnout situation, completely burnout. And that means I really have to realize first, gosh, I need to do things differently. And then recognize my patterns because for me at first it's always looking about, you know, it is my employer that got me here. But what can you do yourself just to make these changes? Um I think really connecting to your intuition, really understanding how you feel and don't ignore your feelings is the first part of um, trying to not get in this burnout, really understanding how you feel. Because I'm really focused on women, we go, um, we go, we sometimes forget our limits and everybody can step over them. We always give too much. We always, you know, we it's not like I don't want to say that everybody or every woman does it, but I think really understanding uh who you are, what is important to you, understanding how you feel and take proper action. Um and don't, of course, again, don't be so hard on yourself. So really focus on you to not get in this burnout.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
That's really a game changer, Sharon. That real leadership isn't about fitting into old models, it's about creating.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, the powerful thing that I've got from the research, by the way, is be brave enough to be your authentic self. You know, sometimes we just have the feeling that we have to work harder so we are seen or we have to be different. And these are all energy eaters. Try to be your authentic self. And that's also, you know, when you're completely in your power, wow, just opportunities will open up. And this is what I've learned from the research that I've been doing.
That completely makes sense. I completely agree with that. So, how do we cultivate the courage to stop playing small and start leading boldly?
Could you repeat that question, please?
Yeah, sure. How do we cultivate the courage to stop playing small, and, start leading boldly?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I wrote a book about this actually in Beyond the Ceiling. And I created this roadmap because I started this research 2 years ago to really understand what is necessary. And I call it the glass ceiling, you know, like the mental glass ceiling. Um, it is like, what can you do to reach that state? Because that state is necessary to then lead boldly. So, first of all, what I have researched, yes, I have it here. Like it's really, as I told you in like, no, Okay, so the first step is wanting to make a change. You really need to, want to make a change. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes, uh, like, how can I say? Like, if you do what you did, you get what you got, right? And sometimes you're just like, oh, I cannot deal with this anymore. I want to have a change. So that's step one. Step two is really being connected with your emotions, with your intuition. If you don't feel good, if you don't feel okay, just sit for a moment, breathe in and breathe out, and feel where this pain comes from, just to understand. Don't brush it off because this is something that we are likely to do because, yeah, we don't understand this feeling. So, oh, we just go on with our day. But this is very essential. Connect to your intuition. Self love and self worth really need to practice it. Look in the mirror and yeah, say like, I love myself. I love myself. Just repeat it, because this
Mm-hmm.
gives you so much bravery, and you need that bravery to be your authentic self. Because being somebody else just costs energy. And if you want to make changes, you need that energy. If you want to be bold, you need that energy. And as soon as you're in that state, make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. Um, Maybe if you're like onto a specific career path, just see who has that position that you want. Have a mentor, like broaden your view. And this is also what I do with like with my company. It's not only about the transformation, but I also make sure that I connect you with female CEOs to help you actually get where you want to be.
That's so powerful. Sharon, this conversation has been really insightful, empowering, and exactly what so many women need to hear. You have shown us that true leadership, isn't about following the rules. It's about creating a new path that aligns with who we are. And to all our listeners, if today's conversation sparks something in you, take a moment to ask yourself, where in my life am I playing by rules that don't serve me anymore? And you can connect with Sharon Van Sprang and explore her work. And remember, your power isn't in proving yourself, it's in trusting yourself. Until next time, lead boldly, trust deeply, and step into the success that's already awaiting for you.